It was an ordinary afternoon at one of the city's most exclusive luxury car dealerships. The showroom was bustling with the wealthy elite, browsing the latest models, admiring sleek sports cars, and discussing the finer details of luxury engineering. However, the atmosphere took a sharp turn when a disabled man, wheelchair-bound and dressed modestly, entered the dealership. He had saved for years to make his dream of owning a luxury car a reality, but what awaited him was far from the welcoming experience he had imagined. The salesman, a young, arrogant associate, took one look at the disabled man and immediately dismissed him as a serious customer. He mocked the man's appearance and implied that he would never be able to afford the high-end cars on display. The disabled man, trying to remain composed, asked about financing options, but the salesman continued to belittle him, making snide remarks about how someone in his condition shouldn't even dream of owning such expensive vehicles. The cruel treatment didn't go unnoticed, and other customers in the showroom began to feel uneasy. But no one could have anticipated what would happen next, when the dealership's doors swung open, and in walked Elon Musk. Elon Musk had just finished a meeting across the street and happened to stop by the dealership to check out the latest Tesla models. As he walked in, he immediately noticed the tense atmosphere and overheard the salesman's rude comments. His eyes narrowed, and without missing a beat, Musk approached the salesman and asked, "Is this how you treat all your customers?" The salesman, clearly nervous, stammered as he tried to explain himself, but Musk wasn't having it. Musk turned to the disabled man, offering a warm, genuine smile. He introduced himself and asked about the man's interest in cars, as well as his journey to get to that point in life. The disabled man, still in shock, shared that he had dreamed of owning a Tesla for years but never felt welcomed or taken seriously in such environments. Musk listened attentively, then turned back to the salesman with a look of stern disapproval. He told the salesman that the dealership's success was built on treating every customer with respect, regardless of their financial status or physical ability. "This is not how we do business," Musk said, before pulling out his phone and making a phone call. Musk's phone call was brief, but the effect it had was immediate. A few minutes later, the dealership's general manager arrived on the scene, visibly shaken. Musk turned to the disabled man, explaining that he had just arranged for a special, personalized deal. "Today, you're driving away in a brand new Tesla, on me," Musk declared, leaving the disabled man speechless with gratitude. The disabled man tried to refuse, explaining that he simply couldn't afford such a gift. But Musk was insistent. "I want you to have this car. Not because you need it, but because you deserve it. No one should be treated like you were today." The dealership's general manager, now fully aware of the situation, apologized profusely to the man and promised to ensure that no customer would ever face such disrespect again. The salesman, who had mocked the disabled man earlier, was given a stern warning by the general manager, who made it clear that such behavior would not be tolerated. In a state of disbelief, the disabled man was escorted outside to the parking lot, where a brand new Tesla awaited him. The car was customized to his needs, with modifications that made it accessible for someone with limited mobility. As he got into the car, tears of joy filled his eyes. The moment was more than just about owning a luxury vehicle. It was about the recognition of his worth and the powerful gesture of kindness from someone who had no obligation to do so. The man thanked Musk repeatedly, but Musk simply smiled and told him that it was an honor to be able to help. "I don't just build cars, I build the future," Musk said. "And part of that future is making sure everyone, no matter their situation, has the chance to achieve their dreams." As the disabled man drove away in his new car, the onlookers in the dealership were left stunned. What started as a moment of cruelty had transformed into a life-changing experience, all because one person decided to take action and make a difference. The news of Elon Musk's extraordinary act of kindness spread like wildfire. Media outlets quickly picked up the story, and social media buzzed with admiration for Musk's generosity and the incredible change in the dealership's environment. Customers who had once avoided the luxury car dealership now lined up to see what the new standard of service would look like. The dealership's management publicly thanked Musk for reminding them of the core values of respect and inclusivity. As for the salesman, he was reassigned to a different position within the company. The incident led to a complete overhaul of the dealership's customer service training program, with a focus on empathy and treating everyone with dignity. The disabled man, whose name was Michael, became a symbol of resilience and hope. His story inspired many others, and he received countless messages of support. He later attended a special event hosted by Musk, where he was honored for his perseverance and kindness. The luxury car dealer's actions, though initially cruel, set in motion a powerful chain of events that left a lasting impact on both the company and the customers it served. The story of the disabled man and Elon Musk quickly went viral, sparking a movement across social media. Hashtags like #KindnessOverWealth and #ElonChangedEverything flooded platforms, with people from all walks of life sharing their experiences of kindness, often highlighting times when they too had been judged or mistreated because of their appearance or financial status. As the story gained traction, people began to demand that businesses and organizations everywhere adopt Musk's approach to customer service, valuing empathy, respect, and inclusion over simply chasing profits. More than just a feel-good story, the movement began to shift the cultural narrative. Discussions about how people with disabilities are treated in society, both in physical spaces and in terms of social equity, were brought into the public eye. Supporters of the cause gathered to petition for better accessibility measures in luxury spaces, including car dealerships, highlighting the importance of making all products and services available to everyone, regardless of their circumstances. The incident had unwittingly become the catalyst for a much-needed societal change. For Michael, the day he received the Tesla from Musk was a turning point in his life. Before that moment, he had faced numerous obstacles, both physical and emotional, that made it feel like the world was against him. But Musk's act of kindness not only gave him a car, it restored his faith in people. He no longer felt like he was invisible, an afterthought. Instead, he felt valued and appreciated, something that had eluded him for much of his life. As Michael took his new car on its first drive, he reflected on his past. He had spent many years isolated, discouraged by the lack of opportunities and respect shown to him by society. But in that moment, everything had changed. With the support of Musk, he felt empowered to reach for his dreams again. The gift of the car gave him the confidence to pursue other goals, like returning to school and helping to advocate for those with disabilities. He soon found himself volunteering at organizations that supported disabled veterans, teaching others about his own experiences and how kindness had transformed his life. In the months following the incident, Elon Musk continued to use his platform to advocate for greater accessibility in all areas of life, particularly for people with disabilities. He became vocal about the need for businesses to provide equal opportunities, not just through their products but through customer experiences that made everyone feel welcome and valued. Musk held meetings with leaders in various industries to discuss how they could improve inclusivity in their companies, particularly in spaces like car dealerships, luxury retail, and entertainment. Musk also dedicated significant resources to improving the accessibility features of his Tesla vehicles, launching new programs that allowed people with disabilities to customize their cars for better comfort and mobility. In an unexpected move, he announced that Tesla would offer discounted models for disabled individuals, aiming to make their driving experience as seamless and enjoyable as anyone else's. His work helped redefine what it meant to be a business leader in the modern world, not just to lead in innovation, but in humanity as well. In the wake of the incident, the luxury car dealership underwent a complete transformation. What had been an exclusive space for the elite had now become a beacon for inclusivity and empathy. The dealership introduced new policies, ensuring that all employees were properly trained to treat every customer with dignity and respect, regardless of their financial background or appearance. They also created a program to offer free consultations for people with disabilities, helping them understand the options available to modify and personalize their cars. The dealership's general manager, who had witnessed the entire event unfold, was determined to ensure that no customer would ever feel the same way Michael did that day. In addition to revising customer service policies, the dealership partnered with local organizations to support people with disabilities, donating a percentage of their profits to programs focused on improving the lives of people in underserved communities. The dealership quickly became a model of change, inspiring other luxury brands to reevaluate their own customer treatment and accessibility programs. The story of Musk's kindness spread through the auto industry, leading to a major shift in how luxury brands approached their customer base. Competitors of Tesla, once known for their exclusivity and elitism, began to follow suit in recognizing the need for better customer experiences for individuals from all walks of life. While some initially resisted the idea, believing that such moves would harm their brand's image, the positive response from the public proved otherwise. One by one, luxury auto manufacturers began to introduce programs and policies aimed at greater inclusivity. From custom modifications for drivers with disabilities to discounts for military veterans, these companies began to show that it was possible to balance high-end products with a commitment to empathy. The industry saw a rise in sales as more people felt welcome in showrooms, and a new wave of luxury cars designed with accessibility in mind emerged. The ripples from that one moment in a luxury dealership were felt industry-wide, changing the landscape of the automobile market forever. As the months went by, Michael's life began to reflect the transformation that had taken place around him. He became a vocal advocate for people with disabilities, working alongside Musk and others in the community to raise awareness for accessible opportunities. His newfound platform allowed him to speak out on national stages, sharing his story and the profound impact that kindness can have in shaping a person's life. He encouraged people everywhere to practice empathy and to never underestimate the power of small, kind gestures. In an emotional interview, Michael explained how he would forever be grateful to Musk, not just for the car but for teaching him a vital lesson: kindness can move mountains. His work with disability organizations flourished, and he began organizing charity events and awareness campaigns that empowered others. Ultimately, the experience that began with one man's humiliation and a single act of kindness culminated in a movement that changed the world for people with disabilities, ensuring that they too had the opportunities and respect they deserved. As the viral story spread, media outlets across the world began picking up on the story of Elon Musk's act of kindness. What began as a local news feature quickly snowballed into international coverage. Major news networks, including CNN, BBC, and Fox, aired segments about the incident, with coverage highlighting the importance of kindness and accessibility. The media coverage was unprecedented, with commentators and experts discussing the importance of empathy in leadership and business practices. What was most remarkable, however, was the way in which the media focused on the disability aspect. For many, it was the first time they saw such a major act of kindness being extended to a person with a disability in the luxury car market. Interviews with experts in disability advocacy and accessibility, as well as celebrities and influencers who had been inspired by Musk's gesture, flooded the airwaves. The media shifted the conversation from one of luxury and wealth to one of social responsibility, challenging the business community to reconsider how they treat all customers, regardless of their background or physical abilities. In a private interview shortly after the incident, Elon Musk opened up about what had motivated him to step in and change the course of the disabled man's experience at the dealership. Musk admitted that he had been deeply affected by what he had witnessed, realizing that sometimes business leaders can become so consumed with profits and competition that they forget the core values of humanity. He explained that, for him, it was about more than just giving a car. It was about reaffirming the worth of every individual, no matter their physical or financial situation. Musk reflected on his own experiences and challenges, recalling how he had sometimes felt underestimated or dismissed because of his unconventional background and approach to business. This connection to the disabled man's struggles helped Musk realize how powerful it could be to simply recognize someone's humanity. He expressed how deeply moved he had been by the entire situation, and how it had reaffirmed his belief in using his wealth and influence for the greater good. He concluded by pledging to make more efforts to support those in need, not just through monetary donations but through hands-on actions and policies that could create lasting change. Advocate for change. In the aftermath of the event, Michael's life began to change in ways he had never imagined. He went from being a quiet man facing numerous struggles to becoming a global advocate for people with disabilities. With the spotlight now on him, he was invited to speak at international conferences on accessibility and inclusion, sharing his story with thousands. He used his platform to address critical issues such as lack of employment opportunities, inaccessible public spaces, and the underrepresentation of disabled individuals in leadership roles. Michael became the face of a new movement for disabled rights, using the Tesla Musk had gifted him as a symbol of hope and progress. He regularly appeared in the media, on podcasts, and at live events, working with policymakers and other advocates to push for legislation that would ensure better accessibility for people with disabilities. Through his efforts, he helped raise millions for various charities focused on improving the lives of those with disabilities and veterans, ensuring that their voices were heard in the places where decisions were made. In the months following Musk's intervention, luxury car manufacturers around the world were forced to rethink how they interacted with customers. Dealerships that once prided themselves on exclusivity and opulence began to incorporate elements of accessibility and inclusivity into their operations. Whether it was creating more wheelchair-friendly spaces in showrooms or offering better training for employees to cater to all customers, the transformation was immediate. The most significant change was the growing trend toward making luxury cars more adaptable for individuals with disabilities. Several manufacturers, inspired by Musk's example, began to offer specially designed features in their cars, such as hand-controlled accelerators, customized seating arrangements, and enhanced visibility for those with limited mobility. The new emphasis on inclusivity not only helped luxury brands retain their customer base but also opened the door to an entirely new market. What was once perceived as a niche market for luxury brands became a thriving community, one where both customers and manufacturers work together to create a more inclusive world. In response to the overwhelming public support and to further his commitment to helping those in need, Elon Musk and Michael teamed up for a charity auction. The event, which was held in a major city, was designed to raise funds for veterans and people with disabilities. High-end luxury items were auctioned off, with proceeds going toward initiatives that supported those living with physical challenges and those who had served in the military. The auction drew in some of the wealthiest philanthropists, entrepreneurs, and celebrities who were eager to contribute to the cause. The night was filled with inspiring speeches, touching stories, and moments of profound generosity. The highlight of the evening came when Musk announced that a portion of his own wealth would go toward creating a fund specifically designed to help veterans start their own businesses, offering them mentorship, resources, and seed funding. Michael, who had once struggled to make ends meet, was now standing side by side with one of the world's richest men, using his newfound platform to create lasting change for those who needed it most. The auction raised millions of dollars, and it was clear that the event had touched the hearts of everyone involved. Following the viral story of the disabled man's encounter with Elon Musk, the ripple effect spread far and wide. Influencers, celebrities, and everyday people were all moved by the kindness and support shown by Musk and the dealership. Social media campaigns like #ChangeThroughKindness and #TeslaForAll began to take off, with many individuals sharing their own stories of kindness and inclusion. Celebrities such as Rihanna, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Chrissy Teigen took to their platforms to praise Musk's actions and advocate for more inclusive practices across industries. Soon, influencers in the disability community began to raise their voices, urging companies to follow Musk's example. Many of them shared stories of how they had been treated unfairly or had faced barriers when trying to access products and services. Their powerful messages brought even more attention to the cause, causing companies across multiple industries to reevaluate their practices. What had started as one man's gift had blossomed into a global movement, changing the way the world viewed both luxury brands and those who had been historically marginalized. As the months passed, Michael's life continued to evolve dramatically. No longer living in the shadows, he now had a platform to speak on behalf of millions of disabled individuals who had been ignored by society for too long. His relationship with Elon Musk deepened, and the two worked together on various projects designed to improve accessibility for people with disabilities. Michael's newfound fame allowed him to provide for his family in ways he had never dreamed possible, but more importantly, it gave him the opportunity to dedicate himself to a cause greater than himself. He launched a nonprofit organization focused on providing financial support and resources for disabled veterans, and soon his efforts attracted the attention of major corporations. Major brands partnered with his foundation to sponsor accessibility initiatives, such as redesigning public spaces and improving accessibility in hospitals and schools. What started as a small act of kindness had turned Michael into a key figure in the global movement for disability rights. His life, once marked by hardship, was now filled with purpose and possibility, inspiring others to rise above their challenges. In an effort to encourage other business leaders to embrace compassion in their operations, Elon Musk delivered a heartfelt public message through his social media platforms. In a series of tweets and interviews, Musk shared his thoughts on the importance of compassion, empathy, and accessibility in business. He reminded his followers and colleagues that true success wasn't just about profit margins but about how a business could positively impact people's lives. Musk encouraged business leaders to set an example by incorporating social responsibility into their strategies, not as a side project, but as a central aspect of their operations. Musk's message resonated with many entrepreneurs who admired his approach to business. Instead of focusing solely on sales or marketing, Musk's model of business with a heart encouraged companies to reevaluate how they engage with the public and contribute to society. The ripple effect of Musk's words spread quickly, leading to a shift in how some industries operated, with a growing focus on inclusivity, accessibility, and philanthropy. Businesses that once viewed social causes as a secondary concern began to prioritize them, setting new standards for corporate responsibility. Accessibility charities. Inspired by the success of the charity auction and the growing momentum behind the movement, Tesla announced a historic partnership with several leading accessibility charities. The deal involved Tesla committing a significant portion of its revenue to support the design of accessible cars and public spaces. In addition to financial contributions, the company would work with experts in the disability community to develop and implement accessibility features in all of Tesla's future models. This partnership marked a significant turning point for the automotive industry, setting a new precedent for how companies should work alongside nonprofit organizations to promote social good. Tesla's commitment to accessibility went beyond just the physical features of its cars. It extended to promoting educational programs for people with disabilities and creating resources for businesses to learn how to improve accessibility in their own operations. The collaboration between Tesla and the charities created a blueprint for how industries could work together to create a more inclusive and accessible world. As Michael continued to work with Musk and other influential figures, his impact spread to local communities across the country. His message of inclusion resonated deeply with people from all walks of life, and he soon became a regular speaker at local events and town halls. His advocacy led to changes in local government policies, including increased funding for disability programs, better transportation options for disabled individuals, and new employment opportunities for people with physical challenges. What was most profound, however, was the way Michael's story motivated people within his community to get involved. Families and neighbors, who once felt isolated by their own struggles with disabilities, now had the support and resources they needed to live fuller lives. Local businesses, inspired by Michael's message, began adopting more inclusive practices, from creating wheelchair ramps to providing special accommodations for disabled customers. Michael had become more than a symbol of hope. He had become a leader in the fight for equality and inclusion at the grassroots level. Elon Musk's commitment to the cause didn't stop with one act of kindness or even a charity event. He announced plans to invest in a new venture specifically focused on making innovative products for people with disabilities. This initiative would focus on designing and producing cutting-edge assistive technologies, including new mobility devices, adaptive equipment for daily life, and even software that would help individuals with disabilities better navigate the world around them. Musk's focus on accessibility began to extend to all of his ventures, from Tesla to SpaceX. He invested in technology that could improve the quality of life for people with disabilities, such as improved prosthetics, sensory aids, and smart home systems. His commitment to pushing the boundaries of innovation for the benefit of others inspired many within the tech community to follow suit. What started as one man's act of generosity had evolved into a broader movement to use technology to create a more equitable world for everyone, no matter their abilities. As Elon Musk's efforts to improve accessibility grew, so did his global recognition. His impact went far beyond his ventures in space exploration, electric vehicles, and renewable energy. Musk was now seen as a trailblazer in the realm of corporate responsibility, proving that a tech mogul could use his wealth and influence to make the world a better place. In a series of global award ceremonies, Musk received numerous accolades for his work with disabilities and his continued dedication to creating innovative solutions for underserved communities. These awards didn't just acknowledge his business accomplishments. They honored his role in challenging the status quo and setting a new standard for corporate behavior. Musk was praised for being a leader who didn't just talk about change but actively pursued it through both his actions and his investments. As a result, he was invited to serve on several international advisory boards focused on global accessibility and sustainability, cementing his legacy as one of the most forward-thinking and compassionate business leaders of his generation. With the sudden transformation in their financial situation, Michael's family began to thrive in ways they had never imagined. Michael's wife and children were able to receive the best healthcare, enroll in educational programs, and travel for the first time in years. Michael's children, inspired by his journey, grew up understanding the value of compassion and kindness, often volunteering with their father in community outreach programs. As a family, they became an example of how love, kindness, and determination can overcome even the greatest obstacles. Michael's wife, who had always been supportive of his dreams but limited by their circumstances, was able to pursue her own ambitions and further her career. The family's new financial security allowed them to open a community center focused on providing services and resources for families facing similar challenges. What had started as a moment of kindness had sparked an entire shift in Michael's family's future, ensuring that their legacy would live on in the work they did for others. Would you like me to continue with more points, or would you like to explore a specific part of the story in more detail? The success of Michael's story and the subsequent movement launched by Elon Musk sparked a nationwide shift. Local businesses, inspired by the growing demand for accessibility, began adopting new practices to accommodate people with disabilities. Restaurants, retailers, and service providers started incorporating ramps, automatic doors, and assistive technology into their physical locations. Moreover, the efforts weren't just about physical changes, they also extended to how businesses interacted with disabled customers. Service providers, for example, offered more personalized customer care, training staff to be more attentive to the needs of individuals with disabilities. This new awareness became ingrained in business practices across the country, creating an environment in which people with disabilities no longer felt like an afterthought but rather a valued part of the community. The positive economic and social impact of these changes became evident as businesses that embraced accessibility saw an increase in foot traffic and customer loyalty. As news of the charity auction and Michael's life-changing journey spread, the public's response was overwhelmingly positive. Social media platforms buzzed with admiration for both Michael and Elon Musk. Hashtags like #AccessibilityForAll and #MuskandMichael became trending topics, with millions of posts celebrating the power of kindness and inclusivity. People from all walks of life shared their own stories, expressing gratitude for the newfound attention on accessibility issues. Many disabled individuals shared how they felt more seen and heard, while others thanked Musk for his philanthropic approach to business. The outpouring of support not only amplified the message of inclusivity but also reinforced the idea that when individuals in positions of power use their platform for good, society as a whole benefits. The story of Michael and Elon Musk transcended traditional barriers, proving that compassion could unite people across all divides. In a bold move that further cemented his commitment to social change, Elon Musk announced a historic donation of $100 million to fund accessibility initiatives worldwide. The donation was earmarked for projects aimed at improving mobility, healthcare access, and quality of life for people with disabilities. The funds would be directed to global initiatives focused on creating better infrastructure, designing adaptive technology, and providing financial support for disabled communities. The news of Musk's donation made headlines around the world, with many praising the tech mogul for his generosity. It marked a turning point in how billionaires could influence positive change. Musk's donation was not just a financial gesture, it was a call to action for others in the business world to follow suit. The funds would be allocated across a variety of projects, including the construction of fully accessible housing, the development of affordable medical devices, and the implementation of educational programs to train individuals on accessibility solutions. This initiative not only helped the disabled community but also set an example for other wealthy philanthropists to step up. Over time, Michael's journey took him from being a survivor of life's challenges to a powerful advocate for disability rights. His experiences not only reshaped his life but also gave him the strength to speak out about the systemic barriers that disabled individuals face daily. With Elon Musk's continued mentorship and guidance, Michael became a key figure in international conferences on accessibility and disability rights. Michael's newfound voice became influential in shaping policy changes across both local and national levels. He advocated for new laws that would enforce stricter accessibility standards in public spaces, schools, and workplaces. His speeches, often delivered to packed audiences, encouraged lawmakers, business leaders, and communities to prioritize inclusivity. As a public speaker, Michael inspired countless others who had been marginalized to step forward and claim their rights. His transformation into a respected advocate was proof that even the most difficult struggles could be the catalyst for positive societal change. As part of Tesla's ongoing commitment to accessibility, the company unveiled a groundbreaking new technology aimed at improving the driving experience for people with disabilities. The tech included features such as voice-activated controls, adaptive seating, and advanced safety systems that could be customized based on the specific needs of the driver. Tesla also introduced a new line of vehicles designed with accessible ramps, wider doorways, and enhanced ergonomic design to accommodate people with mobility challenges. This innovative technology was hailed as a game-changer, offering disabled drivers a new level of independence and freedom. Tesla's inclusive technology was not just a product but a statement about how the company viewed accessibility as integral to its future. The new vehicles allowed people with disabilities to access transportation that was previously out of reach, offering the opportunity to travel and work independently. The response from the public was overwhelmingly positive, with many people calling for other automakers to follow Tesla's example in developing vehicles that catered to a broader range of needs. As years passed, the collaboration between Michael and Elon Musk became a legacy of compassion, advocacy, and groundbreaking change. Michael's foundation continued to thrive, supporting millions of disabled individuals worldwide, while Elon Musk's businesses integrated inclusivity into their core values. The two had not only changed the lives of countless individuals but had also set in motion a broader cultural shift towards accessibility and empathy. Their story was recounted in schools, documentaries, and global summits, serving as a reminder of what can be achieved when two individuals, one from a position of immense privilege and the other from humble beginnings, come together to create lasting change. The positive effects of their work rippled across industries and governments, leading to a world that was more inclusive, more compassionate, and more willing to challenge the status quo. The partnership between Elon Musk and Michael had proven that acts of kindness, no matter how small, could have a profound and lasting impact on the world.